Hello, friends. Welcome to Multiverse with me. And as we already know that most of the stars that we actually explore in the universe are red dwarf stars. And right now we are exploring the neighborhood of our sun, and we are coming across many red dwarf. And today also we will examine a very unique red dwarf system called Gliese 866. This is unique. In fact, you will find out in a bit when we get into our imaginary spaceship and get into uh, the orbit of Gliese 866. So let's hop into our spaceship and go there. And as you can see, there are not one star but two. But wait, let me try and steer the spaceship much closer to one of them. And I'm just trying to get into the orbit here. As you can see, now we are much closer to one of them. And the unique thing about Gliese 866 is that it's not two star systems but three, and all three are red dwarf, and it's about 11.3 light years away from sun, so close by, not very far off. And this is how actually this system look like. There are two stars in the close vicinity, and the one takes a very long elliptical orbit around the other two. And the surprising fact is that all three of them are very similar, very same size red dwarf. So this is something unique, and Gliese 866 offers this uniqueness because usually there will be a two star system, but this is a triplet. In terms of the mass, all three show similar characteristics. And friends, as you know that it is very difficult to look at the red dwarf because they emit very little light. But whatever we know that all three are similar in size and about 15% mass of the sun, so they are relatively very small stars and they emit very little light. And that is why this is so unique, because they are bound together in a triplet. At the same time, the energy output given by these red dwarf are in the red spectrum. So as you know that the red dwarf, why we call them red dwarf, because their light is red, and almost 85% of the light that comes out from the red dwarf is in the infrared spectrum, which is not visible to human eyes. And because of that, it's very difficult to look at. Even with a strong telescope, it is very difficult to look at, and that is why you need special equipment to see in the infrared spectrum. So these three stars in Gliese 866 system, they are actually emitting the same characteristics, and they are shining very dim, very dim, and only 15% is the visible red light, and 85% is the invisible infrared light which is coming out from these systems. Now these stars are also very small, and in order to have the hydrogen burning of the star, the compression which is created by the star's gravity, so that the hydrogen can fuse and become helium, there is a minimum limit also, and that is about 12% of the mass of the sun. So since these are really the small stars, and I think they are just above the limit of that hydrogen burning, which is set by the universe laws and physics, laws of physics. These are, all three of them are very cool stars. They are very cool in the sense that they have only 2800 Kelvin as the surface temperature, so they are relatively cool. It's like even sun has temperature of 5000 Kelvin. This is something like 2700 Kelvin on the surface, and sometimes some planets can show this kind of temperature. So these are very cool stars, and all of them are very similar in nature. And I think this is something which we already know. We have covered that in related to other red dwarfs that we have explored so far. These are also the flare stars, and when we say flare stars, all of a sudden red dwarf basically burst into many times the energy output of the star itself, and these are very deadly flares. We don't know what is the reason for these flares, because these stars are very low in intensity when it's in a normal state, but when it flares up equally, maybe 15 to 20 times the in total energy output of the star. So these stars are also flare stars, and they are about 11 and odd light years away. So very difficult to look at, but we have experienced these flares. We have actually got these flares recorded in our sensors, and that is why we know that all these three stars are flare stars. Nothing extraordinary. This is what the red dwarfs are. And the flare frequency is also not known. They just flare up once in a while without any frequency. So in terms of examining them closely and understand Gliese 866 up close, I think we will have to wait for some more time, or James Webb comes to life, then we will be able to probably see these star system up close. However, they are actually coming towards the sun, and as you know that they are actually, just like sun is going around the center of the galaxy, these star systems are also going around the center of the galaxy, and after few thousands of years they will be very close. But the closest distance for Gliese 866 that has been predicted is about 8 light years. So they will not come too close, yet they will be closer in future, and we will get better understanding of understanding these this stars triplets. So friends, this is unique because they are triple star system. All three stars are similar red dwarf, and that is why we find it very unique, because three red dwarf rotating around each other. And since they are very difficult to look at, we don't know how many planets are there in the system, so much research is required. So friends, if you know anything more than what I have told you about Gliese 866, kindly share your thoughts. I look forward to getting your comments as I respond to each one of them. And as always, thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.